is up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. With me today is a much anticipated guest, my old co-host. He is the villain, Jake Rosenstiel. What is up?
What's up, V? Good to talk to you. How you been?
Great, wonderful. Life's been just like 2020 is just the best year ever. So you and I did commentary. We were the first commentary duo at Stones, and I convinced you. I pulled some teeth. I convinced you to do commentary with me when Stones Live Poker first started, and I guess you and I are the OGs in the place.
Yeah, once upon a time, you and I did commentary, and it was a lot of fun.
Hello, Happy New Year, everybody. It's Veronica Brill joining you here. I've got the Jake.
How you guys doing?
And we are streaming a fantastic 5-5 game today, correct?
Tonight we have 5-5.
And it's a $200 buy-in and $1,000 cap, but you can also buy, if someone has more than $1,000 on the table, you can buy in for more than $1,000.
Table stakes as usual. Couple familiar faces we've seen in the games before. A couple new people that I don't know who they are, so kind of curious to see how they're going to play tonight. We got two feeder games. We had the 5-5 main game. We had the two 5-5 feeders, and I believe we just opened up a 5-10. So if you guys want to come down, get some action,
we'll give it to you.
We'll give you action.
We'll give you action. We fought a lot. I hated you for a while. I was very stubborn. So were you.
Yeah, we wanted to kill each other at different intervals, but it was a good time. And then it all turned out wonderfully.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like the best decision ever, and now here we are.
And nothing bad will ever come of it. And that was your selling point. Like, what's the worst that could go wrong?
Come on, Jake. There's only positive from this.
It'll be a fucking blast. Let's go. All right, fuck it.
So it was fun. Like hosting the 1025 games was my highlight of the month. We always used to run a big game once a month, and you and I were always doing commentary for it. I mean, we did have some good times.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stream was really good for the poker community. We were able to get games in there that we didn't normally get otherwise. 2-5 ran somewhat consistently, but we never really got a 5-10, let alone a 10-25. And then because of the stream, like 5-10 was like a regular thing, a couple times a week, and 10 and a quarter.
And then sometimes we'd have a 2-5 on the stream, and the side table would have a 5-10 that was like the backup to the stream. It was like there was a ton of action around the live stream too.
And we'd have the once a month, 1-3-150 Veronica and Friends game,
which you played in, and on the regular got stacked in.
Yeah, we all did.
GTO, Jake, you need to let go of math and science and just go with your gut.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Kiss the chips and say la vie.
So you and I say the last two times I did commentary, obviously the last time I did commentary was when Berkey was in the game, and then I went public a week later. But you and I did commentary together before that. And I'll put in clips of that show. But you and I walked out of the booth, and I remember you texting me in the booth saying he's cheating or whatever it is you wrote, and then you deleted it. And then we both walked out of the booth. I remember both of us were like,
Mike jammed. Mike is blowing Paul off a chop. Paul checks. He's got one pair all day long. Mike knows it and says, you can't call. He scoops the chops. He scoops all the chops. Mike's not like, he's not trying to bet small to get value from King Queen. I want to bet large to get rid of Ace King. And he's right. And that's what's sick. In a GTO vacuum, we bet small or we bet reasonable to get value from King Queen. In Mike's universe,
he's free rolling this all in.
We just solve. We're just like, no. Like,
I told you he's got poker and life solved. Holy
what the
shit.
fuck was that? Right.
What the fuck is going on? And I was convinced. I wouldn't say I was as convinced as I was in September, but something was going on, and that's when
Right. We
I
were.
think the gossip started going around the room, and
Yeah. I mean, like the gossip had kind of been going around. I mean, that stream for me was like the one that was like really brought it, to the forefront of like, holy shit, like there's some validity here that shit really might be going down. Prior to that, there had been some scuttlebutt. I think Azan, to you credit was he was the first one I heard that came forward. It was like, hey, I think this could be going on. But at the same time, I think, not just myself, but you, others, we all kind of treated it initially like, anyone who took a bad beat and then condemned online poker for being rigged or cheated. Had this not been on a live stream, had there not been RFID cards, sure.
I think
Mike said some button clicky shit,
and I think people don't realize that we hung out with a very skeptical group of people. We weren't jumping to every single conclusion that was out there. We were always like, when I ran it by Matt's like, oh, well, that one hand doesn't really mean he's cheating. He was clicking.
Yeah, none of us went back and watched all the hands and this and that, but it was all just like, I mostly dismissed it as just like, okay, like, same as I dismissed people saying online poker's rigged. And then it wasn't until, but again, these rumors had kind of been circulating for at least a year, 16, 18 months. And then they invited you and I, the stream that you're referring to, they invited you and I to come back and do like a reunion show. I hadn't been doing commentary in almost 2 years. And it was we put together a good 10-25 game, and Mike just fucking went ham. And in every fight. Yeah, and at one
so
point,
obvious in that game too.
And I don't know if you realize this, but all the whole like apostles of God and is he Jesus? You and I were the ones who started that shit. Like if you go back, like you didn't realize, yeah. So
I didn't make any memes.
We didn't make any memes,
initially, so I tell people this, like initially I bought into it. And I think initially we would celebrate these big hands that happened, and we loved seeing this craziness. But then when it started becoming like, this isn't a thing. This doesn't happen every third hand, when every third hand in the show, and then every hand that Mike plays. So I think it was like over time. I think I was one of the commentators that was like over dramatic with big action. And it wasn't just Mike, it was Brian, when Brian was in the game, when Harlan was in the game. I really loved doing commentary on big hands because it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and then you and I think we started out like you and I being you and I, we were just kind of trolling, religion and stuff like that. And like, oh my God, is he a god? And how does Mike possibly do it? And it was during.
But you and I also refused to put memes up and make the show.
No. The memes came later, but like, referring back to like that one particular stream, like you and I were like joking around. Oh my God, is he a god? Is he the Messiah?
Confirmed. Mike Postle is God and goat and all of things holy.
Everything unholy. What the?
Put an altar to Mike Postle in stones, please. Somebody.
I was heavily sarcastic with that last stream that we did together.
We're both like super sarcastic when it comes to that like topic. But I was like during that stream, I pull out my phone as we're in the middle of this, like, is he a god? Oh my God, how does Mike Postle do it every time? And I type out on my phone, like, I think Mike's cheating, and I show it to you, and then put my phone face down. And just, without missing a beat, you and I just kind of went right through it. Like, oh my, how does he do it every time? It's like he knows. And then, we get out of the screen. And
if someone who's watching the show didn't understand us, they would think we were serious. But, like, literally, we were hamming it up. Like, towards the end was like, this is not possible.
Yeah. Justin took that and ran with it, with the whole running the memes and putting it, Mike Postle's God.
Who made a lot of the memes?
I don't know I can't testify definitively either way, like whose idea it was and or who created it, but I know I want to say, obviously I think a lot of this stuff all ran through JFK, Justin Caritis. So whether or not it was his idea or he just put the stamp of approval on it.
Pop Grenade, I heard him say on one of the shows that he did create one of the memes.
Sure.
But I don't think he was like the first one.
No. And in defense of the commentators, I mean, I think a lot of it's kind of cooled down since then, but I know when this shit was like first like a really, really hot topic, a lot of people were all over the commentators for how could you have not known, blah, da, da, da. I mean, again, you and I picked up on it the first time that we did like a full show again together. But a lot of these commentators, I mean, there was a revolving door of 6 to 8 of these people that weren't watching every episode. And when
we're professional poker players.
And they're not professional poker players.
And also watching a 3-hour boring stream with one awesome hand every half an hour, you get really excited. And it's fun. And you don't want to be this boring person. You want to kind of hype up the show. That's part of the job. You want
even like so for instance, Casey, Poker Mama. So I didn't know that she had also independently was suspicious herself and had approached Justin in March of 2019.
Right. 2018.
And 2019.
Oh no, it was 2019. Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
2019. The same month I went to Justin.
At the same time, just like you or me or anyone else who we're not, like, we kind of have these suspicions, we're not positive. We can't be there doing commentary in the middle of the show and being like, eventually, you had enough. But you can't, for most of these commentators, you're like, fuck this is bullshit. This can't be a thing. It's not real. And when you're commentating once every other week, or maybe once a week out of like 3 streams, you just don't know what's going on in these other streams. And Casey was reassured by Justin, same as I was at different times when I brought up some of these suspicions that,
So
he was
you
on.
brought
He
this
was
up to Justin.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah,
when did you bring it up to him?
So going back, I think so Azan was the first one to make noise about it. I want to say that was sometime in November, December of 2018. Possibly slightly earlier. I believe it was around December, around that same time was the first time that I believe was the first one that went to Stones. I'll just say that. I believe, pretty sure it was Justin, but I believe he went to Stones about it. You and I did that show in mid-January. I want to say it was like January 14th, 13th, somewhere around there. And then it was shortly after that I first went to Justin. So it would have been sometime around late January, early February. Casey then went to just to put a timeline together.
I actually think Casey went like a week or two before me. Because I went in March, but it was like March 20th, 21st.
It was funny because Casey showed me the text messages. Because initially, Casey seemed like, she kind of waffled on Twitter, was like, about it. But then
I was surprised that I didn't know Casey had gone to Justin because
I had no idea.
I saw her tweet at me after I went public with it. And then I found out she actually was concerned about him cheating. I'm like, I don't understand why she put those tweets out.
I think just kind of like, she had been like, reassured that this wasn't happening. And she'd been, fed the same string of bullshit that a lot of us had to kind of quench all the rumors.
And I think she was moving towards the thirst lounge, and she wasn't doing as much commentary.
Right, but then she was still doing commentary for them, so she was, I think, probably had this allegiance, or she was still affiliated with Stones, and so she has there's this incentive to like, no, this isn't going on. We're still putting out a good product. But yeah, so Casey went to Justin in March. You went to win around the same time. I then revisited it again sometime in June or July, around that time. But we're just banging our head up against.
How did you revisit it? Like, what did you say? How did you see him?
Well, it was around that time that a lot of the memes were popping up, and people would come to me and talk about these hands. And so part of me I was like, from doing the commentary in January, I was highly suspicious, but wasn't convinced because again, I didn't go back like Ingram and watch all the shows and put together the data. It was just kind of, you'd hear about these hands every now and then, but you kind of have this kind of somewhat wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and or denial. Like,
right.
I'm suspicious of it. I mean, if you go back and watch some of the earlier streams or comparatively to after, late December, January, when a lot of people got wind of it, the lineups changed as far as it's going to be very, very devoid of regs. All the Sacramento area poker pros from apart. I mean, these guys, we weren't barely in these games anymore. We all kind of talked amongst ourselves, and we're like, look, we're not sure, we're not positive, but like, just in case, a lot of guys were just going to avoid the stream while the cameras were on, while the RFID cards were in place. And then those who were still playing, during that time, it was kind of like this, like, all right, well, if you're going to play, just tread lightly around Mike. So around the time that the memes had started coming out and getting popular, and people were complaining about that, like, dude, like this guy, we think this guy's cheating, and they're like fucking celebrating it. I had approached Justin and told him, like, look, I think this is a bad idea. This is a bad thing. You have people in this room that are openly questioning whether or not this player is cheating, and I'm not necessarily convinced that he is, but if it ever comes out to be true, all this stuff's gonna make us look really fucking stupid. And this looks really bad that you're celebrating this guy that a lot of people think is not on the up and up. And it's got a lot of the same reassurances, you know, hey, he's on 25K downswing. He can't be cheating because of a lot of irrational stuff.
What was his reasoning for he can't be cheating?
Well, part of it was just like, oh, because that would mean that one of the guys in the back would have to be helping him, and my guys aren't, you know, cheaters. They're not helping him, so it would then imply that someone else was helping them or is therefore helping him cheat. So even though obviously that's not a good reason why someone can't be cheating, but it was something like, all right, well, you're not just implicating Mike, you're also implicating that one of these other guys that you know and are, you know, kind of friends with would have to also be in on it as well. But I mean, namely the big thing where it was kind of like, it was still, again, I hadn't gone back multiple shows, but namely is, okay, like he says, you know, Mike's on a 25K downswing. And then when you hear about some of these hands, when you watch these hands, when you experience them yourself, that adds up. And Mike's kind of been a button clicky kind of guy. And so, yeah, when you do the sporadic shit that we saw happening or you hear about sometimes, yeah, he's going to win some pots there sometimes, but to hear like that overall he's, you know, net on a big downswing, it checks out. And so
tell me, let me just ask you a question, because you also have your ear to the ground in the poker community in Sacramento. Was Mike playing, let's say, the majority of 2018, 19, was Mike playing off stream?
No. So, I mean, he would.
So this is what Justin used to tell me. Let me just say, you and I have a hard time. We talk over each other all the time. Justin used to tell me all the time, nice mimosa there, Jake. Justin used to tell me all the time, I'm like, yeah, you know, Mike had this like amazing night. Oh, he's on like a 20K downswing, 25K downswing, Veronica. And then I'd hear from other people like, where is he playing? He's not playing anywhere.
One, I mean, that's a kind of a useless defense of someone cheating on a live stream because,
right.
It's
irrational.
Yeah. Oh, I'm buried at this card room, but upkeep's here.
So, I mean, you can still be cheating and stuck. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, but I mean, it'd be inaccurate to say that Mike wasn't playing at all anywhere because that's not accurate. That's not fair.
But I did hear as he started getting more and more confident and playing only on the stream, he started playing less and less off stream.
Right.
And
I mean, so
his VPIP on stream was really high, and the VPIP off stream was really low.
So that's where I was going to bring up. So, like, I mean, it was more and more commonplace where, and again, a lot of people have already kind of vouched for this and said this, that, I mean, as soon as the stream would end, Mike would, you know, hang out. He would lobby for he played like an orbit or two, knit it up, and lobby for a little while, and then rack up and leave, right? Or he would rack up, but he would still hang out. He'd stay and hang out. So some of this, I remember hearing, you know, one of Mike's shitty defenses when he did the Mattis Out podcast of, people saying, I leave right after stream, I got a daughter to get home to, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and while that might be true to some degree, a lot of times Mike would the stream would end and he'd lobby, but he'd hang out, he'd still hang out at the card room.
We'd go bowling. Yeah, we would hang out. We went to nightclubs. Drinking. Yeah.
I mean, Mike was a fun guy. I mean, one thing he also said in the podcast, like, hey, like, I'm bad with money. I party up. I pay for people's drinks and tabs. But that's all true. Mike wasn't bullshitting about that. I mean, Mike is a fun guy to hang out with. He would buy a round of drinks, pay for people's, the commentators. He'd pay their tabs at the bar and food and shit like that. So Mike wasn't, I mean, he'd quit the stream, but he wasn't like really rushing out the fucking door to get home to, the loved ones. But so some of these games, again, when Mike would play off stream, while Mike historically had been kind of button clicky and shit like that, it wasn't the sicko maniacal player that he made himself out to be on stream or, alluded to like in the interview. We'd have roughly some of these same lineups in a game as big or bigger at another establishment, and Mike was sitting there would sit there and knit sweaters against so roughly the same lineup. I mean, that was a big part of it that roused a lot of suspicion from a lot of players. Dude, the guy's quitting like almost immediately after, as soon as the deck changed, the guy's out of here. And these same games that are going on in town, like he's just not playing the same. He either won't play or is not playing the same way. And I think one of the other things he said, like that he was unaware of some of these other bigger games that were going on in town, which is complete fucking bullshit.
Everybody was aware of the games. Everybody.
We had people for there was a game that was playing 100, 200 for a stretch at another card room in town that everyone knew about, everyone talked about, fucking Mike talked about. I mean, people were coming in from out of town to play this in this game that popped up out of nowhere that went on for months, and to say that like, oh, he just was unaware that there was this great game down the street is complete fucking bullshit. And again, the couple times that we did get him at the table with the same lineup, at another card room or whatever like that, he's sitting there, he's calling off bad, he's folding the best hand sometimes. He's just sitting, trying to nut pedal, doing all the normal shit that a lot of bad poker players do. He was all of a sudden, hey, this is the Mike that we know, that we've seen, forever.
Well, Dave Tuckman actually was videotaping. He was in one of the shows that Mike cheated on. And then when the cameras stopped rolling and they changed out the cards, how they give us normal cards after the stream ends, Mike folded a pair of queens pre-flop to someone else's. I think someone went all in and another person called, and Mike folded the best hand, queens.
So the live stream ended, but we got some action here. So we're playing like four-handed right now. What was the action here? So Sash, you opened to the 60. Roland made it 200. Mike P called 200. Here's the chips. Then it came back over 860 for Sash. Roland went 2,500. There you go, boys. Look at that.
Come get some.
Hey, come get some.
Mike, nobody has pocket aces more than this fucking guy right here. This fucking guy.
I lost them all.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting spot here. We're like four-handed right now. I'm busy folding every hand over here.
Here, can we get here?
Sure. Mike P's hand. It's rolling. There's the original open, the 3-bet, the call, the 4-bet, and then the 5-bet. Action on Mike P. It's pretty exciting here at Stones. Mike, what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking,
go home and get that.
how did this fucking guy get in the game? Like, who fucking let this guy in the game?
We actually, Roland, enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Alicia no longer in the game.
I hope to be back.
Oh, really?
Rising from the ashes, apparently, though.
Like the phoenix. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. He gave
And
you
then
shoes.
Sasha
I'll
over
give
here.
you fucking shoes for life. This guy don't get in the damn game.
Sash not looking that happy right now.
I mean,
I'm working on it, too.
I don't know. It's really weird. That's a hell of a speech. You're all in if you call, right?
Pretty much. I mean, I could. I don't want to be in it. I could leave $100.
Hostel, you
I
drive.
could leave $100.
It'd be like $70. You drive it.
You get a call and then fold for 100 at the end of the flop.
In fact. Yeah, thank you. Get it, girl.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're taking his keys. Got it. We'll wait for you.
See, the one bonus of being card dead all night is I don't have these situations.
No, we're just.
This is hilarious.
Hey, Johnny boy. John.
It's humorous.
Wow, and Mike P folds.
I'm gonna make a hero fold.
Are you show it?
Just for the camera. Just for the camera.
I'll show it.
Just for the camera.
And here it is, show. Oh, show bluff, show bluff.
I can't show it.
Oh!
Wait. Don't move.
You want to see them? You want to see
All right,
Let's see
who
it
wants-
flop.
you gotta pay for the.
Mike, he folded a better
You
hand.
gotta pay for the
He
rest.
folded queens.
$5.
You mucked queens?
I'm fucking real.
What? Queens?
How do you fucking 5-bet?
What?
How do you fucking 5-bet?
That would have been sick.
What the fuck?
What just happened? You folded queens?
You mucked queens.
How do you fucking 4-bet 7 dudes?
You gonna leave me hanging? Mike, you gonna leave me hanging?
It's a mandatory 4-bet.
Mike, you gonna leave me hanging?
He's hanging.
Mike,
Hey, I lost
You
the
fucking
most.
hang.
dude, it didn't cost you any money.
I lost the most here. No.
Stone's live poker, guys.
Queens. He just
Yeah, Mike folded queens to Matt's jacks. We all know about that. Yeah.
Like
Or-
he won't fold a 5-4 off
Right.
versus two other people going all in.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so again, I mean, this is all stuff everyone knows about. If you look at the data, go back and watch the hands. Do go back and watch the footage that Joey so diligently did for the community and see it's unquestionable what was really going on there, which is really unfortunate because some of this other stuff I think you and I want to talk about. I mean, it really tarnished the reputation of like a really otherwise great poker room. I mean, there's a reason why you and I and other people had propped up this room, so much. It was a really, really great place
it's
to
a
play.
really nice room. Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it was your
the-
favorite poker room to play for, and for a reason. It was
a cheers type of atmosphere.
Yeah. You'd come in, everyone knew your name. It was welcoming to anyone and everyone. There was especially compared to like most other poker rooms, a very, very diverse population of players. There's a lot of more women that played in Stones.
Right. That's true.
I mean, it was
the dealers were really good and fast and nice, and everyone was like a family.
yeah. And you'd walk in, and the games were fucking amazing. I mean, anyone who go back and having watched all these streams could see like how good the game. I mean, these games that were on stream oftentimes were especially good, but that wasn't too far off from what was going on in the side tables as well at times. I mean, it's not uncommon. Like, all right, we're playing 1-3, and we're 3,000 bigs effective, and so we're gonna work in the 7-bet range here.
And it would be like 1-3, and someone randomly straddles like $175. Okay, it's fun. Let's do this.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just want to go back before we talk about Stone's post cheating scandal. I want to go back to one more thing, and I know that. So you and I have been really good friends for a long time. In fact, I
Off
would
and
say
on.
off and on. We've had. I mean, and no good friendship comes without fights, but. I would say that
I mean, who
you're
doesn't
one of
argue about the size of the universe? I mean,
we did have a very I tweeted about that. We did have a very big grueling argument over the size and expansion of the universe. So anyway, no
totally
good friendship.
normal shit for friends to argue about.
Right. But
Yeah.
I wanted to just one more time go into, because I know you and I were in contact right around the time I was going to go public with it.
Yeah.
And I know that Justin had reached out to Andrew Barber, and he reached out to you right around this time. And I just want to talk about that because you guys were supposed to go for lunch, and just tell me what that was about.
Right. So, I mean, I was. This is again going back all the way from December up to the time that you went public with it. This has been something that the regs of the Sacramento poker community we were trying to get on top of and get Stones to address and get out in front of before it got.
And so it was more than just a bunch of us going to Justin. Some of you guys also went to Art.
Yeah, I mean, Bart Hansen around March. I mean, there's been something that really got started. Mike must have stepped it up around March because it seems to be around that time that a lot of people started to come forward about it.
Oh no, that's when he also got his own show. Like literally a week after I said that Mike was possibly cheating, Mike had Apostle or Mike and the Apostles or whatever his Apostle and Pals show was. I'm like, what the fuck? He's got his own show now? Like this guy is cheating and you're giving him his own show.
This guy is cheating. Maybe. I mean, come on, like we weren't all so convinced. I mean, again, so part of it, a lot of us were still approaching this thing from like, because again, having not seen all the streams, I keep saying that I know, but like, we want to like go through this and make sure that either A, catch him in the act, or B, just as much to clear his name possibly. Because I mean, we still again thought there was a chance that, hey, we're just looking at like a really small sample size, like this batch of hands, but we don't know about all the other hands. He's allegedly always on these big downswings, which seems to make sense. So we were just trying to like,
and it's always Justin talking about the downswings. It's always Justin.
We're trying to get them to address this, not as much to clear Mike's name and establish, that there's integrity in the show, as much as there was to try to catch him in the act. So from there and all the way up until, again, like probably maybe almost a month to the day before you went public with it, I had got a message or a phone call from Andrew Barber, a mutual friend of ours, and he said, like, hey, I know this is something that you guys have been working on for a while. He had told me that he had just recently got off the phone with Justin, the director of the show, and he seemed to feel that Justin was more receptive to it than he had been at any point in the past, which is, again, was the big thing that we were always fighting. Like, we go to Justin, we talk to him or whoever, namely Justin, and we just bang our head against the wall trying to get him to take this seriously.
Yeah.
But it was it had been getting worse all through. So like, how the conversation exactly went between Justin and Andrew, I don't know. But Andrew told me like, hey, I think Justin might actually be more receptive to this, or more receptive to it than he's ever been before. So maybe give it another shot. So at that point, I went right over to Justin, talked to him about it, and hey, this is something that players are still concerned about. I'm still concerned about. We think has some validity to it. Let's go through this and see how we can either prove or disprove it, one way or the other. And of course, we all just wanted it. We would have loved to find out that it wasn't true.
Right.
And initially, it was like, okay, yeah, let's set up a lunch. Let's talk about this. I want to hear your ideas. And then the more we talked, the more I just kept getting, more just, hey, downswing. Hey, he couldn't be cheating because this hand, this hand, this hand, this hand. And a lot of you wants to just be okay, like this is just Justin's ignorance. Some of these hands he would bring up in defense of Mike were.
I think he was just pandering to you.
It's funny because the conversation that Justin and I had about trying to deal with this was, mirrored the same conversation that Casey had with Justin. She showed me the text messages between her and Justin, and I'm like looking at my phone, like it's like the same fucking convo.
Did he have like a script? Do you think?
No, that's.
What did he say to you?
A lot of it was, again, the downswing. Always constantly bringing up the downswing. Mike doesn't, something that we've all heard of the downswing. Like he doesn't play game theory, and it's not even about like GTO, which is just basic poker strategy. Mike doesn't play that way. He's a field player. He has reads. He would bring up these hands that he would play where, look, he wouldn't be cheating because there was one hand particularly where Mike flopped like a pair and another guy had two overs and the nut flush draw. And Mike called the bet. And his defense was like, oh, look, Mike can't be cheating because, look, he's not a favorite. This other guy is, like 55% or whatever like that.
Why don't you get him to also explain physics to you while he's at it?
Yeah, I was,
it's
Justin.
not like he knows poker.
Yeah. Justin, do you understand the expansion rate of the universe? I don't think so. Like, apparently not a lot of people do. So.
Shut up. I told you I was wrong.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like relay to or explain to Justin, like, no, like this is exactly how you would if you knew the cards. This is exactly how you would play the hand. You call the bet, wait for a clean turn, and then pile it as soon as. And then he's like, no, look, if he's not a favorite. Why? If he knew the cards, he wouldn't be playing that. He wouldn't play. He just fold the hand. I'm like, that's not how this works.
See, this is what I think. Like in his mind, he thought that this made sense, and so he just assumed, which I think is his leak because he's a narcissist. He assumed that everyone else would also say, "Oh, this makes sense." He couldn't empathize with other people's perceptions, and
I think that's
didn't
possible.
Make sense to anyone who knows poker.
But also, I think that's possible. But at the same time, everyone sucks at poker. Like 95, 98% of the field just doesn't know what the fuck to do with these hands anyhow. I mean, so like to someone who's, I mean, you've been in poker for a while, sure, but a lot of these players would probably, fuck up these spots too, or understand, what to do with some of these spots.
I would say that a lot of people have gone on immense heaters, maybe even gone on heaters for more than just a session, but maybe a couple sessions in a row. But 18 months of perfection,
right? I mean, and that's where like
happen.
I mean, I could,
18
to play devil's
months
advocate,
of calling a 3-bet under the gun with like a 7-4 off doesn't happen.
We know. I mean, like again, so I mean, I could play devil's advocate and make a case and like, look, he's just ignorant. He's just a moron. Some of the stuff that's harder to account for is to why he was always constantly telling everyone that he was on a downswing on stream when he wasn't. Definitively.
Why would Justin tell everyone that?
I mean, so I could again, if I'm to play devil's advocate, it's like, look, he just doesn't believe all these people, all these jealous poker players that are just jealous because they can't get in these lineups and these amazing games, and they're not as good as Mike, and they
I heard that.
They all, and so they're just like coming up with this bullshit. So I'm just gonna tell them some other bullshit just to get them to like put this to rest. I could see a scenario where that happen is the case. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way. If there was some sort of concrete proof that like, oh, like JFK was definitively like the guy. Or if it just came like, no, he definitively wasn't. He was just, completely ignorant and made up this shit to try to like make it seem like that his baby, this show, was on the up and down.
Okay, so I think like there's given almost everything, there's a good chance that either he was involved or completely incompetent, and it doesn't matter actually at this point. But
Right.
Given the very last game where I did commentary before I went public, there were no phones allowed. And so the perception is that either I know the chances are less that he was getting text messages. He was more like live streaming the stream on his phone, but in real time. But given that they weren't allowed to have phones in the room at the tables, and you can ask Berkey, because Berkey and Marley was playing on a side table before she joined.
And Soto, and all those guys, yeah.
So he had the bone conducting headphones. I mean, there's a lot of evidence showing that was there. He had like a bald spot when he lifted his hat, and you could see it stuffed, and when he was in the booth, it wasn't. So just let me finish. So given that, there was no way for him to get the information unless it was like told to him through like some sort of microphone. Justin used to wear a microphone. If it wasn't Justin giving him the information, then there's 2 or 3 people in the back at a time during the tech session. Do you think the other 2 tech people would have seen one of the tech people being like, okay, Mike, so-and-so has this, so-and-so has that? Like someone had to talk and tell him the hands when he had the bone conducting headset in. So
okay.
If someone in the tech booth was telling him, all of them know, and they're being quiet because they're covering their asses, or it was Justin.
So a couple things there. A couple things to unpack. One of the first things when I was, again, before thinking that it was even possible that Justin was someone who could be involved, when we were going to Justin to try to get him to address this, and he was like trying to, it's impossible because he would say, the server, the network's been checked, it's secure.
By who? We have no evidence of that being done.
I don't
Did
know.
someone walk around the server and look at it and say, thumbs up, good to go?
What we were told is that they had an outside third-party company go in and verify that the network was secure.
Where's the evidence of that?
I don't say that. I'm not saying that there is evidence. I'm just trying to say what we were told. And some of the conversation that I had with Justin was I was trying to get him to wrap his head around the fact that no one has to hack the server or the RFID system, or even like as Berkey demonstrated, you could just like patch out the RFID card readers live. That doesn't even have to happen. Back again, going all the way back when you and I used to do commentary, and they've upgraded the booth several times, or significantly since you and I were doing commentary. But when you and I would be in the booth doing commentary about hands, we're on like a 25-minute delay or whatever, and we could hear the guys in the back talk about hands live. The microphones wouldn't pick it up, but you could hear these guys in the back. They all play poker. I mean, this production was put together on a nickel.
And there was no security when you and I were doing
other poker players. So we would hear, one of the guys would be like, "Oh shit, so and so's got aces. So and so's got ace king. Oh fuck, it's about to go down." Or shit, he got there. So like, I remember like several times where you and I were in the booth and we're keeping hi commentator face on, talking about, oh my god, this, that, and the other. And meanwhile, like, I know in 25 minutes, I would know what card is coming 25 minutes later when a big hand would develop, because we'd already heard the guys talking about it. So I was trying to explain to Justin, like, no one has to even hack the network. It could be as simple as some $20, $30 spy store pen microphone or lapel mic or a coffee mug or some shit like that any of these guys have in the back. And these guys, just as they're plugging in the numbers, they're running the stream, they're putting in the bet sizes, and they're all just like poker players, 1, 2, 1, 3 players, hanging out, watching guys play 5, 10, 10, 20 or whatever like that. They can just be talking about the hands.
I will disagree with you there, because they would have to consistently talk about every single hand that Mike is in. I heard them talk, but not consistently enough.
But again, like we would hear them talk when they would speak loudly, right? When a big hand would go down, like, I was like, oh fuck, so and so's got aces.
That would I think make Mike occasionally cheat, but mostly play shitty. I would think, as consistent as he was, it had to be someone giving him the information. The only point I'm trying to make there is that it doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't a requirement for the network to be hacked. It was as simple as that. And those are the conversations I was having with Justin at the time, right before, prior to you going public. Is like, look, these are the things we need to be checking on and verifying isn't going on. That someone isn't. I mean, it could be something stupid. And again, where none of us were aware of, like the hat thing or whatever. I was trying to just convey it like to Justin. Like, it could be as simple as an earpiece that he's wearing, and one of the guys in the back. And I told him, like, none of the guys in the back even have to be implicated. It can be, because again, we all are well aware now how loosey-goosey the security was back there. I mean, some of the guys in the back are running the stream, looking at live hands, and getting a massage from the card room masseuse while the game's going on. People would walk in and out of the booth. Mike walked in and out of the booth. And it could be as simple as Mike just like dropping one of these like mic systems back there, or someone else who was in there with him putting it back there. I mean, that was the only point I was trying to get Justin to address. Like, just because you've allegedly checked your network security does not mean that Mike's not being given privileged information here. And these are the conversations I was having with Justin, about a month prior to you going public with it. It was getting so much so to the point where I went as far as, and this is something I talked to you about recently, where Mike lived with a roommate, a good friend of mine, single mom, 3 daughters, and I went as far as trying to give her a heads up, which I felt was like a big gamble on my part, because I was still trying to catch Mike in the act or like clear his name. But I went as far as telling Mike's roommate, like, look, this is something that is coming down the pipe, in all likelihood. I don't want you to get blindsided if suddenly the person that you're living with that pays, 50%, 75%, whatever of the rent, is suddenly has their income swept out from underneath their feet. And you're a single mom with 3 daughters. You just need to be aware that this is something that could be potentially coming. It had reached that level of boiling point, and where we were. And again, I was banging my head against the wall, trying to talk to Justin to get him to take the shit seriously. We were getting the fucking runaround, and we had scheduled a lunch to talk about this. But then after we had texted about like the lunch, him and I talked face to face several times, and I was just like, okay. I mean, like, I know Barber said that he was more receptive to it, more than he'd ever been in the past, but it was still just, I mean, and we saw this from the tweets after you went public with it, where he was just complete shutdown and denial about it. And I just kind of ran into that and gave up. I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll figure something else out. Like, all right, like we canceled lunch. That never got to happen. And then a week later, you went public with it, and the rest is history, as we say. So just real quick before we move on to what happened after, you said that people were trying to talk to Art also.
Yeah. So I remember from a conversation with Bart Hansen, and I don't know if he ever actually got that far, but I know he wanted to talk to Art about it. A couple other people and players were trying to go around Justin to talk to Art about it, because we had so much frustration in trying to get him to
Right.
get his head on.
I did go to Art once about Justin because of an issue I had with him. And Justin, historically, I have to say, treated me very well as a commentator.
Yeah.
Always treated me very well.
Yeah.
I always got a meal. He was very kind to me, very forgiving, because I did cause a lot of trouble, like with the shit I used to talk about. And anyways,
Oh yeah, for sure.
But besides that, I felt a lot of times that Art, so Justin had no oversight. Justin got rid of the IT director who was trying to maintain the tech booth. Justin got him out and was the one-man show. And Art trusted him like a son. And I still think to this day, from all the rumors I've heard, because people text me all the time with what everyone says, that I think Art doesn't think anything happened and that I'm some sort of deranged human and I'm jealous or whatever. The same thing that Justin used to say when people would accuse Mike. But it was hard to get through to Art. He trusted Justin immensely. He went with whatever Justin said. I couldn't convince him otherwise. Not that he wasn't kind, not that he wouldn't listen to me. He gave me some great advice many times, but he will not go against Justin's word.
I mean, and kind of defense of that whole thing there. I mean, there's a reason why we were all going to Justin about this. It wasn't just because Justin was the, manager of the show. Justin had a very solid reputation within the poker community. Justin had, and my understanding, there's no reason to believe this isn't true, Justin had quit one of his previous jobs over a poker cheating scandal where he wanted to 86 a player he caught cheating. The card room that he was working at the time was struggling, and they told him, no, we can't kick any players out. They're trying to keep players or whatever like that.
And Justin said it's me or him.
Yeah, and he quit it. And so for Art or anyone else to put their faith into Justin, I mean, again, he wasn't alone there. We were all going to Justin for a reason. I mean, we eventually tried to circumvent that because we're having the results that we were desiring. But I could see from Art's perspective, hey, I trust this guy. He's done a great job historically at this place. He cares about the quality of the show and, the success of Stones in general. If he thought that there was some validity to here, he would address it. He tells me that there's not. So why should I believe otherwise? I mean, you got to imagine, again, for them to try to differentiate who's, privy and who's not, and which poker players know, what they're talking about and which poker players don't. You have a room full of, goldfish trying to figure out what the fuck to do with their hands. And a couple of them come forward and be like, oh, I think this was, I got screwed out of money. Or like, sure you did, buddy. Yeah, I believe you. And so you hear it enough and you go to your guy and he says, no, we have a network checked and this and that. And I could see why, Art would want to just all right, it's in my guy's hands. He's got this impeccable reputation. He's done well. Everyone's generally happy to work with him. Why should I not trust this guy on top of it? And he brought in an outside security team. And for all, we have no reason to believe that that's not true either.
So I don't see a world where Justin wasn't involved based off of so many pieces of information. But if he wasn't involved, he's so grossly incompetent.
Yeah,
so
and that's the shitty part.
Stubborn.
For a guy, there's no happy ending for the whole Stone saga, Justin Caritis story. For a guy that I really liked and considered a friend, I mean, that it's either, hey, you're either in on it or you're just so grossly incompetent, that you're culpable here to some degree, which it sucks. I mean, I would love nothing more than at the end of all this to find out that it was just the latter and to have to say, hey, I'm sorry for anything I might have said or done to have implicated you in all of this. I would love to have to eat some crow at the end of this. I mean, I think that would be the best scenario for me personally, because I like Justin. I mean, we all did. It's really,
I
really,
have
really
heard through the
unfortunate.
grapevine that Justin and Mike are still working together, still texting each other, and still trying to still trying to attack me. I know Mike is creating all kinds of fake Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts, and a lot of stuff will go dark once he gets arrested, if he does get arrested. Like a lot of these trolls that follow me. But
yeah,
anyway,
I mean, we all can tell. I mean, some of these accounts that have been created by, and we're presuming it's Mike, or obviously it's someone in Mike's
come
camp.
on, it's Mike. It's Mike, and him and his camp. There's like 2 people in his camp, and they all have similar IQs. I can tell right away. They have the same shit to say, and oh, we're gonna release information about your relationship with Mike. I'm like, fucking release it. Let's see. I mean, now's the time. How long has it been? What do you got? Like, fucking release it. Let's see it.
There's the Venn diagram.
Don't waste my time.
There's the Venn diagram of, there's no proof that Mike did it, and it's like it's just the flu, and like flat earthers, like they're all like amongst each other. It's
yeah. The flat earthers, the like hollow earth. Let's not forget the hollow earth.
That's something I just learned about. Yeah, there's hollow earthers, there's flat earthers. It's just the flu. Evidence. There's no proof Mike cheated. Like, come on.
So talk to me about Stones, because you're still in Sacramento. I've had the luxury of not being there during all of this. Talk to me about, is it Mimosa Sunday? It is. Talk to me about what's been going on in Stones with poker players, just the general atmosphere at Stones.
So, I mean, when everything broke initially, it was a punch in the gut for the entire community. I mean, it was all anyone could think or talk about for a long period of time. And like we mentioned earlier, like Stones had this Cheers family type vibe. I mean, the reason why Chris Moneymaker came in there and he was like, and when he announced Shut Up and Deal the World Series, he was wearing Stones gear. And we had Berkey and Soto and Marley and all these people come through, and Bart Hansen.
Jonathan Little.
Everyone who ever came through Stones, we showed them a good time. But it wasn't, again, there's a reason why we all love to promote this room so much and why they were trying to do so many good things here. And then it all changed. Like the wind got sucked out of the room. And myself, being one of the more, friendlier players, having, done commentary in the past, being one of the more, visual players in the room. I was used to coming in and, shaking hands and hugging, all the, servers and staff and dealers and floor people. And all of a sudden it was, I was getting the cold shoulder. And it was strange. And it felt, unwarm and unwelcoming. And, the games took an immediate dive. Games weren't as good there, or there weren't as many games for sure. There was some drop off. And then we'd have these like random spurts where like all of a sudden games would be going like nuts again and they were really good. But then, it definitely has like dropped off. But some people, that worked there or played there, who knew who the people kind of that were behind bringing this to the forefront, namely, but then, after that, myself, Azan, some of the other people that, had your back and were kind of been working on this for a while. There was like almost like 2 camps here where some of these dealers and people would be like, hey man, we didn't think we'd ever see you guys again. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for giving us a shot still. Thanks for having faith in us. We're still, a good place to play. And there were then the other camp, which unfortunately, I feel has been the majority of people there that are very much you are one of the ones that are threatening my livelihood. They took this very, very personally. One, they felt like, we attacked one of theirs, being Justin, who, as we talked about earlier, was someone we all loved, was a friend to everybody. And we all, general understanding was a good guy. But but not just that, there was, now suddenly then later the threat, the lawsuit and stuff. And so these people have taken it as, we're threatening their livelihood. And I feel like a lot of misguided anger there. I told you about a scenario I encountered very recently where they were doing some drawings and stuff, and I won some drawing, and someone asked, have you won anything yet? Yeah. And the reaction was, that must have upset a lot of people in the room. And I was thinking, like, okay, well, that's because, like, generally the room doesn't like seeing, like, the higher stakes players, win, the rich get richer kind of thing. And then the comment was like, he's just not well liked. And then the follow-up to that was like, because he's friends with Veronica. I mean, you are a complete bad word in that room. And again, more frustrating than trying to talk to Justin to get him to take the Mike Postle cheating thing seriously. More frustrating than that since then has been trying to get some of these people to come around to, like, you have where their anger is or should be placed. Like, first and foremost, be mad at Mike. Mike fleeced the community. These people are still claiming, they're like looking, he was a friend, and he's the one who threatened your job. He's the one who threatened your livelihood. After that, be mad at, maybe Justin for not taking the shit seriously. Be mad at, your other management for not dealing with this when it was brought to their attention for over a year. And way down the pecking order is be mad at Veronica Brill or Jake or Azan or anyone else for the way they handled it. I mean, for over a year, we tried to get them to handle this shit, to either clear Mike's name or catch him in the act, and to where none of this shit would have to go down like this. And instead, they're just going to skip all those steps and all those people, and they're just going to I'm mad at Veronica because she just, on a whim, got this like wild hair of her ass, and it was like, I'm going to accuse Mike Postle of cheating and maybe threaten everyone's livelihood that works at Stone's, my favorite card room. I mean, it was your favorite fucking card room. You were friends with everybody there. You didn't want anyone to have to go through any kind of financial hardship, to have to feel the repercussions of this. And it's maddening to me because these people are just, they're bitter and they're angry. They don't like that the name has been tarnished. Once upon a time it was, I play at Stone, Stone's crew. You go to Run It Up Reno, there'd be 15, 20 people in Stone's jackets partying up, making a fucking mess, making a scene. It was a good fucking time. It was fun to be part of Stone's crew. Chris Moneymaker, repping the shit.
Kevin Martin always repping it.
Kevin Martin. I mean, it was a fun time, and their name got tarnished. It was a black eye, and they're just angry and they're bitter and they just don't know how to and they're just looking for someone to be angry at. And you're the default person, and then by proxy, I'm the next bad word. It's like you're a piece of shit. I'm sub piece of shit, and Azan is just what's a piece of shit.
So a few things that I've learned throughout this, and it's persistent in every part of humanity. In everything we go through, with this COVID-19, we can see who the people are that understand data and who want to stop the spread of this disease and reduce the weight that it's going to put on our hospital systems and stuff. But also, there's just people just need something to anchor their anger on when they feel threatened, when something is scaring them. And I think that was the easiest thing for them, especially you were saying that some of the dealers actually don't think Mike was cheating, which shows that that you can be a great dealer and have a fundamental, complete lack of understanding of poker. I mean, I don't even play poker professionally, and it's easy for me to identify these patterns, and so
right.
The people needed to blame someone for shit hitting the fan, and I was the easiest one to blame. I don't give a shit if they blame me. I don't fucking care, because for me, I'd rather have everybody fucking hate me and do the right thing. And if they think that I was in the wrong for trying to do the right thing, fuck them. I went to Stone's. When I went to Stone's, I thought Justin was going to say, let's take Mike off the table. let's investigate. This is a serious matter. This is a serious accusation. I'm shocked. I thought that's what I was going to get. But I got the opposite. And then next week he had his own show.
Let's dig our heels in. Come on.
And they still dug their heels in after I fucking went public.
It's just a hoax. It's just a flu, Veronica. What don't you get here?
Let me just say one thing. Like, so many people came to me and said, why didn't you go to Mike? In what fucking world would that work? Hey, Mike, are you cheating? What? No. Like, what is he going to be like? Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. Thanks for doing a good job. Literally, there's no way that he would ever admit to cheating. Why would I go to him? Sean Drake apparently went up to him and said, look, people are talking about this. And Mike gave him a sob story and started crying to him.
So, and that's one of the more, like, just to do, like, to show, like, how full of shit Mike is. I mean, I think it was during the Mattisau interview, he said, you know, oh, this is the first I'd ever heard of this. You know, when you went public with it, it was the first he'd ever heard of these allegations. It was completely...
Yeah, that's bullshit, because he sent me a text in the group chat, and I'm going to put it up right now, showing, oh, there were a ton of these investigations done, or there were a ton of accusations, and all the investigation was done, and it showed nothing. He knew about all of them.
No, I know. And Sean had approached him at, you know, like, hey, people are saying this and that. I mean, it just goes to show, like, you know, how full of shit the guy is. I mean, if you're looking for a fucking smoking gun, for a guy to say, like, this is the first I ever heard about this, and then there's amount of evidence where everyone comes forward, and there's text messages that in conversations where people were like, look, hey, people are saying this, you know, is it true? And he's just like reassuring his buddies that no, you know, everything's kosher.
The data is the smoking gun. God damn it, people.
It's just the flu, V.
Are you wearing a map hat? Can you show us again? The data is the smoking gun.
Yeah.
So
it's almost as if, you know, having like data-driven decisions is like a good idea. V, it's like the thoughts and prayers aren't working. It's like they're not working.
I gotta pray a little more.
I gotta sacrifice like a goat or something. I don't know. I gotta try that. We'll see we'll just go down the list.
It was super insulting. I think like you, me, Azan, we became friends a lot of ways because like the way we process information. I'm obviously very stubborn, and sometimes it takes a while for me to grasp things, but I think like we're all pretty logical, and I think it was like the three of us would bounce ideas off of each other, and it's astonishing to me that still to this day in 2+2, which I think it's Lance in there, I'm pretty sure I responded to him as Lance and he didn't say anything. People are still saying like, oh, Azan and Jake, and they convinced Veronica, because my little lady brain can't think for itself. Obviously you guys pushed me to do it. Like it's so insulting to me. And it, like, I
would love to take the credit for, you know, whatever like poker player person of the year that you ultimately like should win after all this, but like no, I mean the fact of the matter is like none of us we all had suspicions, none of us had the stones to come forward about this.
That last show solidified it for me. And I remember
it was pretty
Berkey at the end of the show, I was like, what did you think of Mike Possel's play? And he's like, he's a really good post-flop player. I'm like, nothing else? He's like, no. I was like, what else? Tell me, you see anything?
Well, yeah, but it's like, again, like, you know, you have like an N of 1 and you're just like, you know, like looking at like such a small sample size. Can't blame Berg for not knowing. I mean, once we all watched the Ingram streams, it was also obvious anyone would.
It's different when you're in the game and you're only playing like a couple hands against him in the night or every couple of hours.
So what was your cut for suckering Berkey and Soto into playing that game? How much am I paying?
I was actually shocked. Actually, Casey was the one who was able to get them into the game. I was actually shocked that they were coming into the game, because that was actually Veronica and Friends. I had been done with Veronica and Friends. Remember, I was like trying to transition out of it. It was too much of a party for me. And I gave it to Anthony, and that was Anthony's first game hosting. Like, one and done, Anthony. Sorry.
Shoot your shot, kid. Shoot your shot.
So tell me, so you said some of the dealers actually don't believe that he cheated.
There's still this like little hard-headed pocket of people that are just like, there's, it's just a flu. There's no evidence. And just like, again, but they were dealing with people, but there's also, these are people that were already like, closer to Micah's friends. So they have this huge incentive to just be like, la 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 la.
Yeah, emotional decision making.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like, I don't want to believe it. And so if I can lie to myself and friends and others and just not believe it. And it's really frustrating. I've been one of the people that has been more, initially I was kind of laying low about all of it. But as of late, before everything got shut down, had suddenly become like more vocal out of nowhere about all this shit. Because I was still kind of like taken back, and there were some people that were still trying to argue or say that I don't, even if they wouldn't say outright that I think he didn't cheat, they would just, like, oh, I don't see anything to show that he did cheat. But some of that is, again, because they're friends of mine, or just because what they think that is going to imply about their future employment status at Stones, which sucks.
Stones has really frustrated me with their response. It feels really mafia, like deny, 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 deny. And I understand it benefits them,
right?
They're facing a lawsuit, but it is so frustrating that an organization doesn't have ethical standards. I would think we're getting him the fuck out. We're getting the tournament director out. We're looking into this. We're going to be transparent with our findings. But instead, I bet anything that would have been evidence is gone, burnt in a trash can somewhere. I'm not saying that they did. I'm saying there's probably nothing else to be found at this point. And I just think it's like super mafia, but it's I guess their only option.
So, so that's what I'm going to say. Like, at the same time, like, I'm not down with the whole just like bash Stones on Twitter party either, because as
they handled this badly.
They handled it badly. Absolutely. No one's going to deny that. At the same time, the management at Stones were, to some degree, as much a victim to this as the community.
Right.
Like,
I said this all the time. Justin was the only one who was running the show. No one else had any say or knowledge of anything.
This happened to them as much as anyone else, and they're now left trying to pick up the pieces, facing this, lawsuit now. They have employees to think about, and so running a business to think about. Yeah, we all would love Stones to come forward and be like, here's what we found, and here's what we believe happened, and this and that and the other. But when you're facing a $10 million lawsuit and people might lose their job as a byproduct of that, it's a business decision. And
they should have got him out of the game the second the first person came to them. That's it.
Again, no one, I'm not saying they're culpable. I 100% agree that Stones is culpable to whatever degree that, the justice system sees fair for what happened here. But as far as the way to handle things now, I think, again, I think there's misguided anger towards you, but at the same time, like, being mad at Stones for making hey, this is now in their lap and they have to make a business decision. Hey, do we expose ourselves more? Just keel over. Yep, here's where we fucked up and we lose and all this kind of stuff. It's just business. It's just like when you play poker, we divorce our emotions from like this result or this decision-making process, and we make rational, mathematical decisions.
Well, no, they're not making rational mathematical decisions. They're making the best decisions for themselves.
Which again, and they're running a business. They're running a business, and they have employees to protect as well. And so it might feel scummy, it's frustrating for you and I, but I understand it.
This is a case in point where you have an incompetent person making decisions that affect a lot of people that becomes an exponentially large problem because a person has no oversight and they're incompetent. Yeah. I'm not saying it's as bad as Chernobyl, but you see but that's like a very extreme example of incompetent
I get nervous
people.
talking about Russia. Let's not do that.
Well, it's no longer a part of Russia. It's Ukraine now. They're independent since 92. But you know what I mean? Like, that's just like an extreme example and nowhere near, the carnage. But but I'm saying like you leave people in charge that are incompetent, bad things will happen, and then a lot of money or people will be hurt or whatever will happen.
And Stones is going to pay the price for that ultimately. I believe. But again, I'm not going to fault them for, in the meantime, to try to mitigate that loss, try to mitigate like how much of heat they're going to deal with it. Because again, part of like this happened, even though like there's culpability there, this happened to them to a large degree, almost just as much as it happened to us as a community. They by no means asked for this shit. You there?
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah, I guess like in a way you could say that he was the cork that was the funnel towards Stones. Like nothing was getting to anyone else. He was stopping it all, and the snowball kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
I still like Stones. I still play at Stones. I'm still friends with the majority of people there. I still think it's a wonderful place to play. And I think it's a shame what's happened to their name and reputation. Unfortunately, deservingly so, it was some degree, but like it really sucks because it still is a really wonderful place to play, generally speaking. And there's wonderful people and dealers there, and people I still proudly call friends, and associates. And it really, really sucks. And that part, maybe it's just that sympathy there where I feel like look, I get it. I mean,
I think it's more the people that work there than the company.
Yeah, exactly. And so and when I see what some of the decisions that the company is making, like I don't like it. It's not what we as a larger poker community would like to see happen, and everything come forward and have all the cards laid out on the table. No pun intended. I get it. I mean, they're protecting theirs and their own and their brand and their name, and there's still like other things. I mean, there in their minds, they're more than just the Mike Postle scandal, and would like to continue to be. And I would like to see them continue to be as well. But we'll see.
As you're actively suing them.
I never said they weren't culpable.
No, I think they have to have some accountability for this. But yeah, I'd like to see them continue on. It is a nice card room. I did enjoy playing there. It wasn't my favorite place to play.
Yeah, when one of my kids fucks up, I mean, there's like repercussions, but it's not like I don't love them anymore. I just might sue one of the pollywogs for $10 million. Yeah. Yep.
What else do we have?
Other than that, I mean, Sacramento Poker is generally
dead right now.
I mean, well, right now through this whole like COVID thing, it's obviously everything everywhere is dead. But generally speaking, it still had been alive and well. Some of the games had been redistributed to some of the other card rooms. Some of their traffic had kicked up a few ticks for sure. But it's still it amazes me how good the games are here. Like we see, I'm not really big on watching a lot of like poker vloggers, whatever like that. But some of the people I use, like Berkey and the like, some of the games that they play, like Texas Card House, are like amazing. And I'm just like, it seems about right for like around here. Like it's ridiculous to consider what the average income is and the population here in the greater Sacramento area. The games here are really just absurdly good.
Absurd, yeah, nuts.
It's not even. It's fucking bananas.
I remember so many times I would sit at a poker table, just like a 1-3 or a 2-5, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
This game's nuts, and it was all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of that big takeoff started with Stones. So one of our best mutual friends, Andrew Barber, he moved away from Sacramento right as Stones was opening up, and they made everything table stakes. And the entire community around it had to like react to that because they sucked up all the traffic.
They were the only ones table stakes when they first opened?
Yeah.
Because I had just moved to Sacramento around that time.
Right. So everything else was, like 100 BB cap. So like the 2-5 at like Thunder Valley was a 200 BB cap. But everything was captains, and we all, for good reason being. And then Stones comes through, opens up this nice new shiny room, and we're like, fuck it, like.
Oh, it was posh. It was really nice.
Have a ball. Yeah.
And the restaurant. Remember going to Thunder Valley and it was so hard to get food and they had that like hot dog stand next to the poker room and it was smoky. And then you get to Stones and they have this like full restaurant with a pizza oven. It was like amazing. Bottomless mimosas.
And Veronica Brill just putting in 4 bets with 82 fucking napkins.
I donated a lot of money to the Sacramento poker community. You're welcome.
She's there with like the Hoyle like hand rankings card. Like,
what do I do now?
Going for streets. Like, and yeah, so I mean, he moved away around the time, but like all of a sudden Sacramento poker like blew up and everything got deep. Everything went to table stakes. And you say like, oh, what stakes do you play? Do you play 1-3? And you're like, oh, well, like no, you don't get it. I play 1-3 at like Stones or in Sacramento, and like it's like 5-10.
5-10, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 5-10 game, and then everything just plays, several stakes above what everything else is. And for the most part, generally speaking, that has continued. It's slowed down noticeably, but in some spots, but like generally speaking. The games are still pretty good here.
When did the card rooms all officially close?
So we had some friends that were like taking bets on that. One friend bet that.
Of
like,
course.
All right, we're all about to lose our income. Let's what can we bet on? Let's bet on when we're going to lose our income and what income source we're going to lose first.
Hey, people are betting on marbles races on Twitch now. That's like
fucking
all we've got.
Fucking degens. What else are we going to do?
When the world gives you lemons.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you guys were making bets.
So there's bets on whether or not the local Indian casino Thunder Valley would close first, or two of the other California card rooms would close, or which one would close. One friend lost a bit, another friend made a chunk. But I believe Stones and Capital Casino closed last Wednesday. They closed on the same day, just hours apart. And then Thunder Valley, the larger, the actual casino here in the area, closed down 2 days later. They closed down on a Friday. So in like a week and a half ago. But games, up until the moment that they closed, people were still just, hey, it's just a flu. Let's
and I
go.
heard Stones is paying their employees, so that's good. Is Thunder Valley, do
yeah,
you know?
Again, so let's say, I think there's good things to say about Stones as well. I can't testify one way or the other for the other card rooms, but being closer to the peeps, to Stones crew, Stones is paying their employees right now during this pandemic, which I think, it's obviously,
the right thing to do.
Yeah, if the business has the means to do that, I think that is the right thing to do, and they are doing that. I think there's, that's something we should give them credit for. Credit's due. I don't want to say one way or the other for the other card rooms because I can't say I don't know. There's been some socially distanced home games, so to speak.
You guys should not be playing home games, or if you're playing in other ways.
Yeah. So people are still trying to get their gamble on. PokerStars home games, ACR, whatever.
As soon as this whole thing is over, and I'm thinking it's going to be 3 to 6 months, I swear to fucking God, I'm going to go into a casino like Saturday morning and leave Sunday night.
Yeah.
And I haven't played in a while, but I feel like this is a good amount of time to just give my brain that rest.
Oh, when the rooms reopen, there's gonna be an initial like flood. I feel like, or everyone who's been like itching to go. We should like we'll hairspray up, get all like put on some heels, get all slutty looking. We'll go in there.
Yeah. Jake, I like when you get slutty looking. You have the best high heel collection.
I'm a classy broad. You gotta do it. Anything worth doing is worth doing right. So
I agree.
If I'm dressed in nines.
Why do you think we're good friends? We like to go shopping for heels together.
Because we make data-driven decisions and we run around on like a 0.05 BAC. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. So So I know Azan is out there now, and you guys are still keeping in contact, but not close.
Not in contact, but like in contact.
Yes, you're not licking each other's toilet seats and getting COVID-19 or anything. Sorry,
Yeah.
you didn't see that on social media?
Not yet, but
Some
I know
influencer, because
Googling.
they're so smart, some influencer went into like a public bathroom and recorded himself licking a fucking toilet, got COVID-19, they think, from licking that toilet, and is now in a hospital.
Thoughts and prayers. There's no proof. He has good reads, V. He has good reads. Okay. Like
God was punishing him.
fuck.
This is why the Christians hate me.
Yeah,
And
this is why.
You too. You too.
Yeah, likewise.
Any other like last words, like
No, I mean, I just feel like, I wish everyone was more rational about everything these days. I mean, whether it's how we're handling this pandemic, how you are handling or viewing Mike Postle, or even like Stone, how they're doing it. I mean, a lot of people really fucked up. I mean, and their anger towards Mike Postle as well. I mean, there's a reason why I went to, the roommate and told her that, like, look, this might be coming. I mean, he got death threats after this one time. People were showing up at his house.
Yeah, that's
banging
just
down
like,
on the door, trying to, like, it's really ugly. And it's like, dude,
I wouldn't condone any of that.
I
think
get,
like
I get it. You're
should
mad. It happens.
let the legal system handle this.
Right.
You know?
Like, trying to go beat the shit out of a guy isn't going to solve your fucking problem here. I get it. You're angry, but like, guys got a little girl inside. He's probably gonna be scared to death. Some fucking enraged 2-5 player is banging down the fucking door, and she's now got 3 other little girls inside.
Yeah.
So I just hope that everyone. I mean, a lot of that is cooled off. It seems, but I just that's all I got to say. I just hope everyone just starts making a little bit more Andrew Yang-esque mathematical smart decisions.
Yeah, to me it's just like, honestly, I'm only an expert in one field, and I think I would go
Is that
with
universe
what
expansion? Is that the field that you're
universe expansion, obviously, but I would go with what the experts are saying in that field. Like, with this COVID-19, I'm going to go to epidemiologists and physicians. I'm not going to go to the yoga instructor who has a home brew cure. And people just, it's just so much easier to just let the objective data make your decisions. You can just adjust to what the data says. And if it changes, then you change also. You don't have to make your beliefs set in cement.
Yeah.
And also, you don't have to become the expert in everything. Just go with what the experts are saying. They're the ones who are doing the research, so that you don't have to.
That's why when I wanted to know if religion was true, I went and asked my local pastor or priest. You go right to the expert. They're gonna fucking know. Or go to hell.
Well, I mean, like, we can only hope. That's where all the best people are.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Like,
yeah.
Hey, Mike, what's up, buddy? Cheers.
Well, we know we have a fish in the game.
Yeah, we do. Really good. All right, V. It was good chatting at you. I'm gonna barrel some coffee now to make up for the bottle and a half of champagne I'm into the day now. And
Tanya is very fancy. Good for you.
I'm a classic broad. I'm gonna say it again. Don't mind.
You're probably wearing your heels right now.
No, and I'm not wearing pants. Heels, no pants. Yeah.
Damn, girl. You guys. All right, Jake. It was a pleasure. I'm so glad you finally took the time to meet with me. I appreciate it.
All right. Stay inside.
Trust me, I'm not leaving my house anymore, not even for a run. It's so bad. I'm so scared. I'm not scared. I'm just trying to make the best decision to reduce my ability to, or reduce my chance of getting this. So.
All right.
All right. You take care.
Check you later.
Bye.